Hello, SpeedGaming. Good morning, and welcome to the grand finals of the Crystalis Randomizer tournament. I am Patrick, and alongside me today is PMA KFAL, and we're going to be commentating this matchup between TheAxeMan301 and Dragondarch. KFAL, how you doing this morning?
I'm pretty good. Getting excited for this Sunday matinee match. Axeman, Dragondarch both have ruthlessly slaughtered me in the tournament, and I'm excited to watch them go toe-to-toe.
I mean, this is actually the first meeting of these two in the tournament. They have not yet faced off with each other, so their paths have differed greatly. They've gone through a lot of people, and they've gotten to this point. As they get started here, I'll go ahead and explain a lot of the differences, because for those who have been watching this tournament, you've seen a lot of different flag sets. But what you're going to see in this particular flag set is going to be a lot of new things. For starters, the difficulty has been increased fairly dramatically. What this means is that a lot of guarantees that used to be there in the earlier flag sets are not there anymore. And so, for example, like bosses used to be guaranteed that you would have, the ability to access a bracelet for their elemental vulnerability before you're required to go through them. That is not the case anymore. Barrier is not guaranteed. A number of glitches may actually be required for logic. This means some of the different skips. Ghetto Flight was allowed before, and the rabbit skip and the teleport skip were allowed, but they may actually be required now. So they've been added into logic, and getting a teleport right off the bat means that skip's not going to be required.
Yes, speaking of teleport.
Now, interestingly, Dragondarch picked up a pair of warp boots after picking up teleport, and I'm guessing the only reason for that is so that he would have something extra. And that's a medical herb, meaning we have gotten nothing progressionary based, so we're going to see him head straight over to port. Something else you may have noticed right there off the bat is that the monsters are in strange placements, and that's because another new flag that you haven't seen, which is randomized maps, is on. And this means that all of the cave systems in the game have been shuffled. And the the elements required to destroy the different walls have been randomized. The chests have been moved. The enemy placements within the maps themselves have all been moved. So they have to navigate the game based off of, what is available to them as they look around at it.
See, I like that play from Axe. He just saved in the middle of the Portoa area so he could check what barriers are in the waterfall.
Well, he's also looking to see, because the chest that is here in the waterfall cave that's normally locked behind an ice wall, because of the random chest placements, may not be locked behind the wall. So he's going to walk around and look to see if he has access to that chest prior to going anywhere else. And Dragondarch finds a windmill key on the queen and opts to not check the cave yet. Axe, on the other hand, resetting out because he does not have access to that chest. While he did have access to the staircase that gets him to where the statues are, it doesn't matter because he still doesn't have a sword. I did note, however, that was a vanilla firewall required to get into there. Dragondarch making his way over. He talked to Zebu first, just to so he didn't have to make that trek later. And
now, if I'm not mistaken, too, with the randomized maps, there could be access to, or could there be access to Cordell Plains without breaking?
Yeah, there sure can be, because that ice wall, or whatever the wall is that's there, has been randomly placed. So Cordell Plains may actually be accessible at this point. One of the things about the randomized maps that does make it much more navigable is that the connections actually remain the same. This means that if you go into a cave and there's a staircase that goes up and a staircase that goes down, and the staircase that goes up leads you to a treasure, and the staircase that goes down leads you to further progression, the players know that that's what they're going to be looking for. So those connections remain the same. So if you understand the layout of the maps and you understand how the dungeons all connect, then you can figure out without a ton of trouble, what you're looking for in order to make progress. There are a number of caves that are nasty and have similar, connections. Oh, that's a nice dead end there. Good bridge. You'll see a lot of that kind of stuff in these randomized maps, but they have a general idea of what it is that they're looking for at any given time. But for example, in the room that Dragondarch's in right now, there are 2 tunnels that go up and 2 tunnels that go down and 1 wall. So that's going to remain the same. So as they check off, mentally which locations they found and which ones they have not, they can figure out what is still left. And he immediately finds the boss, but has no way to kill it.
Now, if I'm also not mistaken, in these caves with the randomized elements to break walls, mimic,
That's an ice wall.
They're the same in each cave. So if there's ice walls, they're all ice walls in the cave.
That is correct. The only area that has differing elemental potentials throughout it, and that's a Sword of Thunder. Goodbye. We're going to have to make another trip back. So, yeah, the only ones that are different are the iron walls. Each iron wall in the game actually is assigned its own element. So, they are the only ones that are different. And that is a very not weak mushroom to that Sword of Thunder. Dragondarch heading into the Zebu cave here, realizing that he had the Thunder Wall, or the Thunder Sword, necessary to break that wall, and so he's going to go and check Cordell Plains. Axeman, meanwhile, is going to go back into the Vampire Cave here and see if he can't locate anything else and kill the boss. Now, we know he can't break the wall, so there's a high chance that there's something he won't be able to get access to, because that was an ice wall. But he definitely will be able to kill the boss, because we saw Dragondarch get there, and there may be another chest or 3 that they have access to. Hard to say.
Even if with access to the boss, he may want to kill the vampire anyway, because it's very tankable. He won't move if you're tanking.
Well, that particular vampire is vulnerable to all swords, so it doesn't matter. Let's see what Cordell Plains is hiding today. So he's going to check off the warp point there in Bryn Mawr, find out what Akahana wants, because those are now, still shuffled. He wants the Carissa plant.
Might also be worth going in back of Windmill Cave to see if there might be an item. Oh wait, no, there's nothing in that floor.
There's nothing on that floor, and there's an ice wall that's going to guaranteed bar the path to and that's a hazmat suit. Well, let's go check out Oak. Why not? Oh, that soldier, man. Getting a snipe there.
Now, the swamp is particularly nasty randomized, especially if you're doing the very difficult flags where hell runs might be required.
Yeah, no, you do not want to hell run the swamp randomized unless you're planning on saving or checkpointing out. The other thing is that the kid, when they have to rescue the little dwarf kid, is that he is also in a random location. So trying to find your way through this swamp is less than fun at times.
Oh, those bats were knocking Axeman around too, and just got an antidote, or a lysis plant.
That was a lysis plant, yep. Which means it was almost as useful as not. So Dragondarch getting the warp point there in Oak, warping his way back to Bryn Mawr, and he's gonna go and trigger the.
Perhaps this is why he bought warp.
Well, it's paying off. And he's rewarded with.
Oh wow!
Water. There, look at this. Now, the good thing about having the Sword of Water means he now has a 50% chance of getting whatever it is that Rage is blocking, and it also will give him access to everything in the 2 cave systems that are in Portoa.
Well, I also didn't see if there was a flyer in that area. He decided not to check. We know it's not the Sword of Thunder because Axe just checked.
Yeah.
Yes, and Tornell wants the vanilla tornado break.
Dragondarch statue glitching his way through to check the basement of Aurelius here.
Oh, that's a nice find.
I'll take it.
I did not catch what the turn-in item in Bryn Mawr?
It was the Carice plant. So Dragondarch now going to trigger the Nadir's point. That way he can come back to it later since he has the teleport spell. We're going to see him do the rabbit skip and walk right on by, and off he's going to go.
Oh, he didn't hit the frame. You can't give him any crap for it.
Nope, not today.
Looks like Axe is on his heels there, about to do the same thing. Those soldiers are bopping him all over the place.
Yeah, the soldiers are on fire today.
Oh no, he's not going to do that. He's going straight up to...
Not a bad play. Just get it out of the way now. That soldier, he wants it.
Oh jeez.
What an annoyance, dude! Get out of the way.
So irritating.
And he's immune to both
Oh,
water
he got...
and thunder.
Oh. Ow.
Press F for Dragondarch on that one. That soldier was on point.
Well, he is weak to thunder.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why Dragondarch opted to switch to the water sword then.
He probably...
Oh,
yeah,
you know what? I know why. It's because he couldn't break his defense, so he thought it was has the extra point of damage that is allowing him to break the defense. That's what it is.
Yes, as mentioned in chat, the soldier was just doing his job.
It's true. You know, it also is interesting to note that Dragondarch has 2 more scaling, so not only is he down a level, but he's up on scaling as well. These pollen pods are...
Mimic!
Wow. And that's a mimic. So that would be our second mimic of the day. Dragondarch gonna be disappointed here. Hello!
Those pink puffs hurt, too.
Yes, their pollen is very, very dangerous. And that's a wind wall. So there's no progress to be made here on Mount Saber for these two.
So Axe is gonna check Saber West, I guess. Yeah.
Interesting that he did not opt to go to Oak.
Axe doesn't like the swamp area check. He usually avoids that until he has...
That brain. Sneaking a little poison in there. Dragondarch looks like he's making his rage check.
Is there a flyer in this area?
Well,
he's
we'll
gonna wait
find
for...
out.
So what Dragondarch is doing is he's waiting to see if there's a flying enemy in here. If there's a flying enemy in here, he can bump you off to the side, so even when Rage tries to push you out, he doesn't push you out of the area. That'll access the back behind Rage, or you can with a Sword of Water, and that's 2 more checks in Portoa that you can...
Right. Okay, looks like we had a little bit of an interruption there for a second on the stream side. I'm not sure if everybody was seeing that. That was interesting. By the way, we might be a little bit behind. Gonna try to refresh here.
Looks like Dragondarch's in Hydra.
Yeah, that's correct, because right before I got the freeze, he had warped back to Chiron to go across. And he picked up a battle armor, I noticed there.
Yeah, this isn't an option for Axe because he doesn't have that Sword of Water, so he can't cross that that river.
Right, he needs to go to Oak, which that looks like he's last thing he's got available right now, so he's doing. If he went to Saber South, I didn't get to see what the wall was.
Yeah, I missed the wall too.
For Fork, There's 2 staircases up and 1 staircase down. Of those staircases, the 2 that are up lead to 2 different directions, and one of them will lead to a quick short path that leads to a treasure chest, which is where he's at right now. The other path will lead to the ledge. If you keep following the path that he's currently on right now, it'll take him all the way to the top of the mountain. So he's opted to go to the top of the mountain as opposed to checking goes and ledge first. And that is, well, you know what? Turns out he couldn't anyway, because that's an ice wall. So they have no more access here on Hydra.
I'm a little bit behind, Jim. I'm going to refresh my stream.
Axeman, meanwhile, having hit Oak, is now going to get checked Stom, and it looks like he's going to be getting his water sword here shortly.
I missed when he picked up warp boots, but he got a pair as well.
He may have purchased them, we just didn't see it. Dragondarch once again checking just to see if there happened to be a flyer.
There is a flyer!
There is!
Oh, and he just missed.
Oh, try it again. That's alright, now that he knows that there's a flyer, he's guaranteed to get it on the second try. He was a little too low, so it didn't boost him up high enough.
And there it goes.
So that's going to open up a pair of extra checks for him. And he's probably going to check the Crystalis plant here. Yep,
this is going to be X's chance to catch up a little bit because he is not doing those checks that Dragondarch did that didn't really pan out except Power Ring, Battle Line.
Well, I mean, good things to have, and they could make a big difference in the long run. But for now, it has allowed him to catch up. If it comes to the point where they have to start killing bosses early, Dragondarch's Power Ring may just shift that a lot if Axe doesn't make his way to Amazon as quick. Hey,
There's
look at that.
Firewall.
Yep, we do have access to the Crystalis plant cave, so that's going to be a full clear. The good thing about the Crystalis plant cave is there's only ever one stairway that's straight shot all the way through it, so he doesn't have to worry about that. He does still need to find the treasure chest in this room, however.
Oh, Rabbit Boots is actually kind of a nice find right now.
Yeah, that's actually a fantastic find. Letting him charge on the move. He doesn't have any reason to use the Dio's Pendant because he's got nothing really to cast. And the Power Ring isn't really going to benefit him very much. So yeah, Rabbit Boots right now, best option. Oh, hi Warlock. He tried too.
Oh, yes he did.
Jeez, these Warlocks.
They want
Man.
it bad.
They are putting in work right now. Axe did the same thing Dragondarch did, tried to jump and had his teleport spell equipped. That was a magic ring, so nothing special.
It looks like Axe is going to check these Portoa checks. Now, these are out of logic.
Well, yes, they are out of logic, because the current version actually doesn't account for this skip. It has been accounted for in future versions, but this current version does not account for rage skip because this was discovered during the tournament. So there have been no updates like that along the way.
Now, it is worth noting that in this flag set, logic is, and with these players, logic is, yeah, because it's they're gonna be breaking logic left.
Correct. Well, actually, it's not necessarily breaking logic when the logic actually accounts for them doing that. That's a bow of truth. Axe picked up a shell flute from Messina, and the paralysis spell is what we have on the ocean. So, not nice finds. Nothing progressionary at this point. Not yet.
Very minimal on the offensive side of things, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, fire walls in Fog Lamp as well, so both caves are fully clear.
Yeah, so Dragondarch got the first chest. It was a consumable. That's Shadow. Alright, so in this room there are 2 more chests, and he's going to be looking for a downward staircase, which you can see there. There is another staircase that's an upward staircase, and it just leads you in a loop. Now, interestingly, he's equipping the Psycho Armor. The Psycho Armor at this point is going to have the same defense as the Battle Armor, but the HP refill, you know, when you're standing still, probably not going to see a whole lot of use out of that at this point. Oh, and there is
Oh, we had flight.
The Battle Armor does actually give access to poison immunity. So, ooh, he's going to orphan the last check. Interesting.
Yeah, he just peaced out.
Yeah,
oh, Axe got hit again for paralyzed.
Well, it's a good thing they had that lysis plant.
Well, it was funny because earlier, right when Dragondarch got flight, Axe got paralyzed, didn't realize he had an antidote, or a lysis plant, so he went and got himself poisoned and then tried to use his lysis plant to cure his poison.
Oops!
But it worked out because he ended up getting paralyzed again. Well, Axe is going to show us what this last check is. And Dragondarch's get his bow of truth.
So Axe went in the up room here. This is a dead end. There will be a loop here and nothing else.
I didn't catch what was in the waterway.
I didn't either. So it looks like Axe is going to opt to go to Shiren.
I also didn't catch what the last chest was either. Oh, Axe didn't
it was
grab
a lysis plant in the waterway. Good job. The Dragondarch making an Evil Spirit Island check here. Evil Spirit Island, the first room, is one of the more recent randomized rooms. Oh, it's wind blocked, so nope, never mind, not checked. There are still a handful of rooms in the game that are not shuffled at this point. Namely, any of the rooms that have pits in them, because pits are not yet shuffled. Any of the rooms that have, like, spike floors in them are also not shuffled. And there's a couple of waterways that are not yet shuffled in, but all the other rooms are rough time estimate for this. This one can go anywhere from like an hour and a half to 2 hours, just depending on how tough the randomization here is, because this basically pulls out all the stops.
Axe found his battle armor and said, nah, never mind. What is Dragondarch doing? Oh, he's waiting for his paralysis stuff.
No, he's waiting for the Dio's Pendant to pop up his MP so he can warp back to Shiren.
Oh.
Yeah, there can be some jet seeds in this, but there's definitely, more often than not, they're going to be closer to the hour and a half to 2 hour mark.
Jet seeds in this usually happen when you get extremely lucky.
Yeah, everything's just front-loaded, and then you just start blasting through bosses.
Axe is going to check this pyramid side because there are no walls that he has to break.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's going to get his first boss kill down with Dragon 1.
Yeah, Dragondarch should be right on his heels. He's going to set the warp point here at Goa, and then off to Sahara. I would expect him to go as well. Now, Dragondarch has gone out of his way to prove me wrong many times in this tournament when I've been calming his races, so I can't say would be surprised if he went the other way, but at the same time, yeah, no surprise. Going straight to Sahara.
Oh, that flail guy. Ooh. Dragondarch almost accidentally started a nuke.
Yeah, he wanted to clear out his poison there. Oh, so here's something fun. The pyramid. So the pyramid is actually not randomized in layout. What happens is that every single one of the staircases is randomly shuffled. So trying to find your way to the treasure chest and trying to find your way to Dragon, it can take a hot minute because you have to have a very methodical method of going through this whole thing. Otherwise, you're just wandering aimlessly until you get lucky.
And this is where many full stupid runs end.
No, because it's not a dangerous area. It's not like Goa 1. Goa 1 is horrible. That is the worst room in the game when it's dark. Oh, Dragondarch finding Dragon. It looks like he's in the bottom middle.
Oh, Axe just found him as well.
So, yep, the bottom right takes you to the top left.
This can get extremely confusing too, remembering which doors you went in, which doors you checked, which doors you didn't check.
And here's the best part about it. Because there's one door that doesn't connect to all the others, you can actually go in a staircase, and then if you go back into the same staircase, it doesn't take you back where you just came from. It takes you somewhere else. So you have to check everything. You can't skip a single staircase. And
that
that's
medical
a
herb
medical
was
herb. Dragondarch will be the first one to find our chest, and he knows where he's going. Now, if you notice, that staircase took him somewhere completely different from where he came in at. And finding his way back to Dragon immediately. First boss kill here over on Dragondarch.
Yeah, we'll see the power ring pay off here too.
The power ring's going to double his damage output. It'll add 2 damage per swing.
Oh, that was Axeman had set up a used this checkpoint. He said,
Yep.
no thanks, I don't want the medical herb, I'm going to reset right to the checkpoint.
Smart usage of the checkpoint. And that's an iron necklace. So nothing special from the pyramid at all. Very nothing special from the pyramid. We're gonna get our first look in the Oasis Cave. Alright, so the Oasis Cave is one of the few that is not randomized. So they're going to know exactly where they're going here. Oh, and there's the speed boots. Oh, baby. And it looks like Axeman is going to go check Hydra? Ooh. Yep, he's going to go check Hydra before he goes into the Oasis Cave. This is interesting because Dragondarch, having found the speed boots there, he's going to get a pretty decent, lead here, depending on how long it takes Axe to get. And with the flight spell, they can full clear the Oasis Cave here, since they do have, well, no, actually that's not true. I shouldn't say that. There's a 50% chance they can full clear, depending on what the iron wall is actually.
Yeah, we're about to find that out here in a second. Axe is going to fly over this thing in Goa.
Oh,
neither
that's a negative. So it looks like today it's going to be wind or fire.
Looks like we're going in the back of Goa.
No, he's going to trigger Mado 1 over here on Axis. Very interesting. He's going to try to take down Mado 1. Now, this is a logical play. There's nothing that says, as long as they have the sword for this. Nope. Okay, this isn't. Now, however, with the rabbit boots here, Mado 1 is not particularly dangerous, and it's low enough on scaling that this is not the worst play.
Slime Kensu wants Love Pendant.
Wrong form of Kensu, Dragondarch, meanwhile, he's going to haul through and see if he has access to this iron wall before he jumps down into the basement.
I missed Axe getting an opal statue, which helped him out here, but he's gonna tank Mato.
So, the thunder wall there at the leading to Mato's area is not wind, or it's not thunder or water. So, oh hey, we got some robots. Axe is using a lot of resources for this particular fight here. But Mato's very low on health, I can tell just by how quickly he's open.
An insect flute for Dragondarch, which with the hazmat suit, you could go and check that.
Yep. And he's got a fog lamp as well, so that's an extra potential turn in somewhere. And down goes...
And a broken statue.
Broken statue. Well, when they find the glowing lamp, that'll turn into that paralysis spell. And let's see what Carmine's weak to. It's not
Neither.
water or thunder. Well, does he go for it? He's got considerably higher scaling than Axe does.
He's thinking about it. He's.
I think he's just marking his tracker. He's got a. He uses a spreadsheet. It's pretty robust, and so he's just checking off. Not this. It's not that. And now he's gonna head elsewhere.
You're gonna go in the front way. That speed boots. Axe, I like to have those.
Yep. So Axe gets a speed boots about 2.5 minutes behind Dragondarch. So I don't know if Axe tried to break the. I didn't see it.
He did. It was neither.
Okay, so that means our logical progression at this point.
That insect flute, probably.
Yeah, it would actually just be the insect flute. I think that might be the only other thing that they have access to at the moment. So Dragondarch's gonna opt to take down. It's not Evil Spirit Island because Dragondarch checked, and that is Windlock right at the beginning of it. So Evil Spirit Island is out of the picture. Dragondarch saying, nope, I am done with Mato. And we may see a warp to Oak here shortly. A lot of waiting around for Dragondarch for mana this time. Gonna clip his way into the dwarf here to get all his mana back. And it's the insect check. But now he's got to find it. Well, it's right next to town. Never mind. He does not have to find it. It's literally like right there. I mean, it couldn't have been any closer. Could not have been any closer. Now, here's the question. Do we have a... Nope, we do not have a Night Dude bug. But I think this might have been the actual last logical check. Anyway, so... Well, no, actually, because the Tornado Bracelet spot, the chest could be moved and is not necessarily blocked by a wall. So there's a chance that that could also be the next play.
That's a consumable.
Absolutely looks like our play here.
Yeah, Kelbest won.
They also have access to Kelbest, yeah.
That refresh spell is always nice to have.
So it looks like Dragondarch's going to make his way to that Tornado Bracelet location. I don't know that he's checked to see what any of the walls here are yet. This may be a new play.
Axe did, but I
Barely.
don't think we were paying attention.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this particular flag set.
Well,
I'll
up
give
here
you a pass this time, KFL.
there is also this check up here too that
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't
what
have
I
access
mentioned.
to before.
Yeah, this is Tornado Bracelet Cave. So even
that's
though we
right.
know that there's ice walls in here. Oh, and look at that! Never mind, now we have access to lots!
That opens up a ton. That opens up Waterfall
Yeah.
Cave.
So they get the Waterfall Cave access. They also have access to the Vampire Cave. And they're also going to have access to, as I recall, Mount Saber South. And Mato is weak to fire. Here we go. So this should be a considerably faster fight with hopefully a lot less resources used than what Axe had to for the same fight.
Axe is about to get his power ring too, so he'll be happy to see.
I'm actually rather surprised that Axe orphaned this spot for this long.
What, the Aurelius check?
Yeah, the basement. And yes, Hydra is also ice-based. It's a lot of access. A lot of stuff opened up with that fire sword. So Axe is going to get his disappointment here shortly. Mato is putting forth real effort here against Dragondarch.
He still took him down with relative ease.
So Axe is going to make the Saber North play. He's going to go after Kelbesk, it looks like.
Oh,
now,
not enough money to stay in the inn.
This might be the play, but it's more than likely not. Because we already know that the play was a Tornado Bracelet spot on Saber South.
But I'm pretty sure... Oh, wait, he doesn't have the fire, Sword of Fire. Never.
Right. He hasn't. I mean, he's just basically looking for the boss.
Why is Kelbesk checked off? Because
He has not killed
I
Kelbesk. He did kill Mato.
I misclicked and hit that instead of Dragon, so...
It's alright, but Kelbesk is Thunder Weak, and that means that Axe is going to be able to take him down here. And that's a consumable off the Vampire. So now that Dragondarch has full access to this cave system here, we're going to get to see what the rest of those items that we missed out on here were. Alright, so now he's heading back towards the entrance. Seeing that bridge, he knows that. So now he knows where he needs to go.
Just a medical herb, but he still needed to kill him, so...
Yep, so now Axe is trying to figure out, what did I forget? It's not so much that they're very different runs, it's that there's a location that Axe has not been to yet that Dragondarch has, and that is the Tornado Bracelet spot on Mount Saber South. So once Axe makes his way over there and picks up his fire sword, he's going to have access to all the stuff that Dragondarch is currently getting access to.
I guess, where's Axe headed?
Axe is going to go check ESI, which he has not done yet. He's going to find out that it is a wind access, and he's not going to be happy. And that is a bow.
Oh, man.
And a sort of... Wow! Vampire Cave was loaded. My God.
Yeah, he's going to Evil Spirit Island. He can do the thing now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got full logical access to clear it. He has all 4 swords. He has the ability to destroy the walls. The Evil Spirit Island is a full 9 checks for him.
I think Axe might have forgotten about Saber West.
Well, I just think he's not remembering that the Tornado Bracelet spot is accessible, or potentially accessible. And that's the issue here, is that he didn't realize, or he has not yet realized that he has access to that chest. Which is interesting, because he started off by going straight to the Waterfall Cave to check to see if he had access to that chest. Okay, so Dragondarch here is now making his way through the Evil Spirit Island system here. The first area with all the waterways is just a big, massive, snaking network of water all over the place. And because he has flight, whenever he finds the chest, he's going to have the ability to just jump over the river to get it. The problem here is that what the map generator actually does is it increases the size of the maps for starters. It makes them larger, and then it goes and it pulls from all these different tile sets and all these different sections of the maps that are available and puts them all together. Now, luckily for Dragondarch, the chest turned out to be right near the staircase, so that was perfect, but it doesn't always end up that way.
That is also the matrix spot.
I mean, vanilla-wise, it would be.
I was hoping it was going to be a Fruit of Lime for you.
So, in this particular area, the second part of Evil Spirit Island, as I mentioned before, is not shuffled because there's pits in it. And because there are pits, there's no, like, we still have yet to figure out how to properly make all those connections in order to shuffle that. So, along with the issues of elevators and the stuff that goes along with it. There's a number of reasons why these aren't shuffled yet, but yeah, that's why this area is not shuffled.
Yeah, we got the glowing lamp too, so we can now make the Statue of Gold and get ourselves a paralysis.
Which, unless they run out of spots to check, I don't see happening. Because that's one check, it's a lot of out-of-the-way stuff. No thanks.
Really, the only way that would be beneficial is if the Bow of Sun is on Kensu.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If they just ran out of other stuff to do, that'd be the only way. Dragondarch can opt to kill the flail guy.
Not before he
What
got.
a jerk. The double bop. That Black Knight was, you know, out for blood.
Oh, and there's another one.
That's some quick reaction speed there. I think he had like a couple of frames to make that turnaround before getting.
Oh, there's another one.
Wow, the Black Knights. Black Knights on parade. This is like a performance on ice.
And Axe does not have enough. Did not have enough MP to teleport back with the teleport spell, so he had to buy himself or get him to use his Fruit of Power.
He just didn't want to wait for Dio's pendant. Still trying to figure out what he missed. He's going to make that final check at the back of the fog lamp cave that up to this point has been orphaned.
Oh,
and there's an
opal statue.
Decent find, decent find. So the
Yeah,
fun
opal
part
statues
here... Go ahead.
I said opal statues are always good to find. It's a little bit of extra insurance for whatever you're doing.
So here's the fun part about what's going on with this fog lamp cave right now. So the fog lamp cave has staircases all over the place in it. There are connections everywhere. And so trying to navigate to this last chest, it's normally in the vanilla game, it's a fairly long walk by comparison to all the other checks. However, when you have randomized caves on and you could be finding yourself winding around in circles, it can take several minutes just to get to that one chest. So no surprise that they boned out on it before, but yeah, now that he's forced to come back here, and there's a pretty decent chance that there's nothing special here unless it's the Bow of Sun.
Dragondarch on Chain.
Yeah, this is a huge time sink.
Axe found telepathy though. Oh, hang on.
He found that cave stupid fast.
And welcome our raiders from Randomania. This is the Crystalis Grand Finals match 1.
Absolutely. So, Axe is going and looking for the kid, which, as I mentioned, is randomly set up somewhere in this forest. And if you'd paid attention to how the swamp looked in the beginning, there were paths and dead ends all over the place. This is a large map to begin with. So there's the kid. He could be hiding literally anywhere. Sometimes he's sitting right outside of town. Other times he's 10 minutes away.
Yeah, he truly did get lost this time. Ooh, key to prison. Wait a second.
Axe won't be back in this until he finds his way to Mount Saber South again in the Tornado Bracelet. And that can reset means the Dragondarch can take that turn in at Bryn Mawr to Akahana.
That's a super fast check, too.
Right. And there's the sun. Uh-oh. Well, Dragondarch is now in boss and go mode. He has everything he needs. All he has to do is go around the world and kill the bosses. However, he's going to continue to look for things because you're not going to want to go into the tower with a level 1 sword. Sorry, nobody wants to do that. So
we don't have any orbs yet.
Yeah, he is still going to be looking for a combat upgrade. Preferably thunder or fire.
He's almost guaranteed to find some on his way through.
So Axe now is thoroughly confused.
What did Axe pick up?
He got a ball of thunder and a key to prison.
We found our first orb. Our first orb found at 43 minutes, just under 44 minutes.
Yeah, that's beautiful right there. That just goes to show you how when battle magic is not guaranteed and there's no progression behind the balls or bracelets, you are straight up you have to hunt them down. They're not just thrown into your path like the previous ones used to be.
Yep, Axe realized what he missed.
And now he is kicking himself twice.
Yeah, Axe is not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, he's at this point, he's got to be thinking, I got to be 15 minutes behind. And he's not wrong.
I don't know, making this choice right now is going to help him.
Yeah, it will absolutely help him. Dude, Kelbesk here is not playing around. And now that he's doing, like, minimal damage to the boss, these bosses are going to be very, very dangerous without finding some combat upgrade. It also doesn't help any that he doesn't have a shield, because he found the Sacred Shield and then opted to sell it because he had no cash. So, because of these projectiles from Kelbesk are putting in work.
There's an ivory statue.
Yep.
I missed that earlier.
Nah, yeah, they've had that.
But, you know, the quicker Axe finds, the quicker, there he goes, there he found his...
So now Axe is... I don't know if I want to say he's back in it, but he has a chance if Dragondarch gets tripped up on some serious bosses. Namely, Mado 2.
You mentioned an Orb of Thunder. I didn't see an... Does Axe have an ball of thunder?
I think Axe found it. I'll have to see the next time he goes into the menu to change his spell.
Oh, right,
He's also taking down Sparrow, yeah. And that's a consumable from Arillis. It was the paralysis spot. So when he turned in the key to prison, that got him the ball of thunder.
I mean, that's gonna help him.
Dragondarch's gonna walk in the front door of Goa, I think. Or he's gonna check the Barokahana spot first. Checking the Barokahana spot, because that's a quick one, and a ball of fire. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, he's gonna be very happy to have that.
You know, personally, I prefer the Bracelet of Fire for the tower. I think it's a little bit faster. It doesn't have that lag.
Optimally, it can absolutely be faster. However, the robots have to cooperate. If they're going to be jerks and they run all over the place, or the helicopters are just obnoxious, then it can absolutely be slower than the Thunderstorm is. The Thunderstorm, it doesn't lag. It actually is hard-coded in the game for the game to slow down to 50% normal speed during the Thunderstorm. It's actually not lag. It doesn't lag. This is also the same reason why you mash away at your sword, and while the thunderstorm's going off, you're not actually hitting it, because the game's just, it's hitting whenever it can, and so it's missing out on the other hit. Axe finally getting caught up on some checks here in Evil Spirit Island, now that he had that Sword of Wind.
Dragondarch's about to take down Carmine.
And look at that, he's lit the fire.
Yeah. With a power ring and an orb, this will be no problem.
Yep, he's doing bracelet damage without the bracelet, so this is great. And down he goes.
That's a consumable.
Yep, it's a lysis plant, and if I'm not mistaken, the other one is garbage too. Yep.
Did Axe kill Carmine?
Axe did kill Carmine earlier.
I thought he noped out of there.
No, maybe he did nope out. I thought for sure we saw it, but no, maybe not. So that
No, he think
double garbage.
Mado 1 noped out of Carmine 1.
Yeah, that's what it was, you're right. So Dragondarch's gonna go in the front door here. He's gonna try to hold off on Mado 2 as absolutely long as possible, and I don't blame him. And nobody wants anything to do with Mado 2 if you don't have a bracelet. You'll do it, but you don't want to. So let's see what Dragondarch's strategy is to try to figure out where he has to go here. So, Go 1 has been randomized, so here we go. He's going to follow his way around and look for a passage that gets him straight in. And it looks like he got off easy. Sure did. Got off real easy.
Oh. Only people that like to see that are the...
Yeah, the runners. The commentators and the viewers sure don't want to see that.
Such a waste for butterflies in a room when in an elevator room when you have
Right? Dragondarch opting to get that last level before he heads up into Kelbask here.
And gets to skip him instead of his... Yep. Skip him instead of his check.
So he's gonna use a Sword of Wind here and see if he can figure out if he G-brained it. He did not.
Looks like Sabera was Wind. I missed that one.
So that means we have a Thunder weakness here for both Kelbasks. And Sabera 1 is putting in work.
Yeah, he's got a sword charge glitch to get his level 2 charge.
I don't think he needs the charge as much as he just wants the damage so he can stab the crap out of him. Ooh, nice shot to the face, Kelbask. I would have expected him to shoot left at his position there, and he...
Oh, that's beautiful.
Alright, well, game's done. Put a fork in it. This is now Dragondarch's race to lose. At this point, I don't even know if we're going to see him bother with a lot more checks. He has everything he needs to finish the game. He may just go through and blast a couple of bosses. Be done with it.
Yeah, that bracelet. Oh, there's an Orb of Thunder. So we know where the Thunder bracelet is too, so Axe will definitely pick up the Thunder bracelet.
Oh, this will definitely not be sub 1. Absolutely not. No chance. Especially if Mado 2, wants to be Mado 2. A double Thunder Weak wall. Wow, that's interesting. That is a very low percentage chance of happening.
And those two walls being right next to each other too.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, even if they were in go mode at this point, getting through, the end of the game and the tower, is hard to do in 7 minutes.
Yeah, not at level 9 with 32 scaling.
All right, so we have a wind-weak Sabera, so Dragondarch's going to have to go back to Zebu's room through this wonderful network here and make his way back to Sabera with a Bracelet of Wind. And see, this is a spot that, you know, can gain you time because Sabera 2 has all the defense, and he doesn't want to do 1 damage a hit. But he's probably going to have to do this again for Mado 2, which means that's more time potentially lost. See, and he's got to do it speed bootless because he wants that power ring on. So yeah, it's the backtracking is going to take it and cost him a fair amount of time. Yeah, it's going to make the boss fight much better, but it's definitely going to cost him time.
Axe does have the power ring, I just don't think he has it on. Maybe he does. No, he's got rabbit boots on for the quick charge.
I'm not going to blame him. I mean, it's only 2 damage. It's not that much. And Carmine doesn't have particularly high defense to begin with. So you're not worried about breaking through his guard like you would be Sabera 2. It's just he's got high scaling. And he's doing low damage compared to what, you know, you're used to seeing.
He was close to getting slimed.
He has an opal statue. Wouldn't have been the end of life. Crappy way to have to use one, but... And down goes Sabera 2. Oh, that sucks.
It's a consumable.
Okay, so here's why that really sucks. Because more than likely what Dragondarch would have done is gone straight for Mado 2 with the Wind Sword charged at level 3 just to test it out. And if he'd you know, gotten all the way through it, he would have been happy as a lark. The problem is, because he had to go into his menu and ditch a consumable, he lost his sword charge glitch. So if he's weak to wind now, he's going to be really unhappy. Axe has the power ring. I saw it. Well, of course, that, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, but you're not always prepared for that. Nor do many people even recognize that their inventory is always full.
There's a lot of stuff to be thinking about.
It
not
is
wind, not fire.
Not wind. It's hard.
Oh, man.
Clearly it's hard. Go planet. So it's a water weakness, vanilla for Mado 2. And, yep, he's going to sword charge glitch to water and make his way back in there now that he's got everything he needs. Oh, I see what Dragondarch's gonna do. He's gonna go blow up the wall and come in from the backside. That way he doesn't have as far to walk. However, navigating Carmine's area sucks too with randomized maps, because they're another one that winds around on itself, and if you're not really careful with how you navigate it, you could end up just walking in circles.
Axe is going for Mado 2.
Yeah, he's gonna be greatly disappointed here.
He's like, oh, crap.
Well, at least he's gonna get some information out of this opal statue. Yeah, that's a fat nope.
Yeah, he's...
Straight noping right out. However, he now knows, and he's gonna go ahead and...
Is he gonna try it again?
I think he's gonna go break the wall and then come back and do the sword charge glitch with level 2 in hopes that that's what it's gonna take him to do it.
The opal's gonna help him.
Yeah. Well, the opal's gonna help him somewhat, but Dragondarch with the bracelet is gonna rip through Mado like he's barely there.
I mean, wait, is he might be going for it again.
He's gaining a level. He's going to 9.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There we go. Oh, might go to 10.
This surprises me from Axe because I know Axe feels way behind right now. I figured he would just be going.
If it were any other boss, yes. Not Mado 2. Nobody wants anything to do with that. I mean, I don't care how good you are. Mado 2 is Mado 2. And when you do not have the right equipment to fight him, he's a nightmare.
He's just so fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he actually has the fastest movement in the game. The only things that go the same speed he does are projectiles from your shots.
Well, sometimes it feels like the butterflies are too, but...
I mean, they can dash, probably at the same speed for a short time. Bats might be in the same category, too. We got a good pattern.
Oh, jeez, that was quick.
Considered. Yep, and that's gonna put a fork in this seed. Dragondarch is now in go mode. He's gonna warp straight back to Sahara, and he's off to the tap.
Yep.
He's just got one boss left in his way.
This would take some significant deaths from Dragondarch in the tower and Dragon 2, which is probably not going to happen for Axe to be able to catch.
No. We're looking at probably about a 110-ish finish here, depending on, you know, how obnoxious Dragon decides to be.
And one thing I wanted to mention earlier is you saw Dragondarch, even though he killed Mado 2 and dropped inventory stuff to get that chest, even though he knew it was consumable, you gotta pick up the chest for the boss kill to count. Learn from my mistake.
Yeah, I remember when you sent me that Discord message, you're like, hey, what happened here? It's like, oh yeah, you didn't know that, dude? The boss flags are all cleared when the chest is picked up. This is the reason why bosses cannot have mimics. Because if the boss flag were cleared on the boss dying, then you could reset out of the chest. Potentially. You'll wild warp away. But because the boss itself is not, it's cleared when you pick up a chest, you can't have a mimic there because the mimic never goes away. It's a static item. It's like a monster. It never goes away. But we used to have some beautiful situations when mimics were shuffled in the very early days of the randomizer.
Steve, you just read my mind because I forgot to mark that Axeman had the bow. So,
and we have our entry into Dragon here at the 101.30 mark.
well, Axe is gonna look for some items here.
Oh, he doesn't really have a choice. He hasn't found anything.
With Power Ring, level 10 at 33 scaling.
Yeah,
and
this'll be
Sword of
over
Fire.
quick.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I'll cheat one.
He's done. Put a fork in him. I'll be completely honest. If right now, Dragondarch's cart died, I might even just consider him to be the winner still. Because there's no way Axe can catch up at this point. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He could die 3 times in the tower and Axe could catch up, but that's, I mean, there's a pretty big gap here.
I mean, these two got to the grand finals. They're not going to die that much in the tower.
No, they're not. They really are not. You'll see an errant death here and there from a bad helicopter, but you aren't going to see, you know, consecutive beatings. Not with the equipment.
Also has an opal statue.
I think he has 2 of them, to be honest.
Yep.
Dragondarch was the only sub-hour runner on the Holy Grail skip, as I like to call it. Until Teleport Skip was found, he was the only person to do it before that glitch was discovered. And no one has done it since. There are a couple of sub-hour runners, but both of them are using the new route.
I think the current world record holder is the one that discovered the teleport skip.
Yep, Overswarm sure did. I was not able to figure it out despite spending a lot of time on it. I discovered it was possible in the randomizer, but I could never figure out how to get, you know, it tricked. And it wasn't until Overswarm figured out the Warp Boots thing that made it happen. The Cross Product figured out another way to do it. On accident.
Oh, Sabera 2 is giving Axe a time. It's such high defense and so much HP.
Yeah. I mean, at 31 scaling, she probably has somewhere in the neighborhood of like 280 to 300 HP. And probably like 15 defense. It's dumb. Dragondarch makes his way into the dino room here. We should see a dot done coming out of him here. Oh, without barrier, he's going to destroy the side up, which is going to add probably about another 35 seconds to his run.
I mean, I feel like he'd be safe enough with 2 opal statues, but
who cares?
Play it safe.
It's not like it takes that long to destroy the turrets. He flew through that tower like it was barely there. We have an official SRL time from Dragondarch with the dot done of 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 12 seconds. GG. He put a hurting on that seed.
Yeah, wow, that was
a beating.
Wow.
That poor seed is now in pain. There's nothing else to say about that. He put a hurt on this seed.
And there's Dragondarch. GGG. Everybody, that is the way you play a seed of this randomizer right there. That's how you...
I did a what now?
You put a hurting on this seed. It was a beating.
I don't know about that.
Well, here was the big separator. The Axeman has a new spot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a spot that's shared with Nightdew. He forgot that the Tornado Bracelet Cave is potentially accessible on randomized map. So he wandered around to a bunch of places and tried to do different things that it was completely unnecessary when all he needed to do was go back to the, and get that Sword of Fire from the Tornado Bracelet spot.
Oh.
Axe just reset out of the Sabera.
Yeah, I think Axe is highly considering just saying at this point. He's extremely under-equipped. He only has Sabera 2 and Kelbesk 2 left, but he never got the Ball of Fire, and when he goes in the front door of to kill Kelbesk 1, he would get the Bracelet of Fire like you did. But he doesn't have that. All he has is a Ball of Thunder, which he got at the Paralysis location after using the Prism Key.
Yeah, there were no combat upgrades for the longest time. We had all 4 swords and no orbs, no bracelets. And it's like, everything's in logic.
The first orb was found at 43 minutes.
Yeah, it was Axe with the Orb of Thunder, or the Ball of Thunder at 43 and a half minutes in about. So yeah, this seed getting an hour-ish time on this is not how these tend to go. That was pretty fast.
No, this is the best time I've had so far with these flags.
Yeah, this was a relatively kind seed, all things considered.
I wouldn't say kind, because I had to like quadruple or quintuple dip frickin' Goa Fortress with all the sword charge glitching, but
Yeah, but at the same time, all of your progressionary things that you needed, with the exception of fire, were completely on the beaten path. There wasn't anything that was like way out of the way besides fire.
I will admit Sabera's area was pretty kind this time. That was a pretty tame. That was a pretty tame moat.
And so was Goa 1. Getting to Kelbass, it was a straight shot to the ramp.
Yeah,
It was interesting.
yeah, it was a seed.
Yeah, it had some big wins. It had some not so great spots, but mostly it came down to the fact that they just didn't give you guys any good combat options, and so it's like, hey, but you do have to go through these bosses, so do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then you have to be prepared for
in
that.
Fog Lamp Cave, though. That was not what I was expecting to find in there.
Yeah, well, Axe ended up going back and finishing the Fog Lamp Cave because he didn't have anything else to do, and he ended up getting telepathy at the back of the cave, and from there, it sent him on this wild goose chase of fetch quests and turn-ins that led to nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Axe
they
is
were.
going in the front of Goa now.
Well, that's gonna get him his ball of fire. And then the flame bracelet was in Sabera's area, as I recall.
Like, I had all 4 swords, flight, and all 3 bows, and Goa, obviously I had Goa accessible, and I'm like, I want at least a ball going in here. I do not want to walk in with just base swords, because who knows what Sabera's gonna pull off. So I went searching for that. I found that ball of fire, and it's like, okay, go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Tornell, you're right. Brogohana did have the ball of fire, so he won't.
Oh,
he'll
that's
find the
where
ball
it
of fire. He'll find the ball of fire in here, but he won't have the flame.
Right.
But I don't think Axe has the ivory statue, does he?
Oh, yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, I just saw it.
That was right next to that was right next to the Sword of Wind. It's in the same cave. All 3 of those chests are there. It was the Ivory Statue, Bow of Moon, and Sword of Wind, like boom, 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 right next to each other. Vampire Cave was loaded.
Yeah, you just needed fire to get in.
Right. Man, Kelbask has been a huge problem today for both runners. He has not been kind.
No, Kelbask is showing why he was fired from the NFL.
Right. He's actually showing why he was initially hired from the NFL, but he was fired for trying to use a sword on the field and they weren't having it.
There's his orb of fire, so that'll help out a little bit. But Axe will find in here his what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, his storm.
Flame bracelet.
No, Storm Bracelet's in here. The Flame Bracelet will be on Brokohana.
Yep. Yeah, you didn't get Dragondarch. You did not get the key to prison check, which was the was a thunder.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, if you went to the paralysis location after Kelbask, you would have gotten the Storm Bracelet, but nope. Here's the best part.
There
You
it
get the Storm Bracelet right after killing the last guy that's weak to thunder.
I mean, I never found the prison key.
The prison key was somewhere that you didn't go that Axe did. It was like he got it during the chain on, if I'm not mistaken. He got it during the chain of the telepathy and all that crap.
Yeah, he got it from the kid's mom.
Yeah, Dwarf Mom.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, Axe gets to be the first one to show off just how brutal these flag sets can be when you aren't able to find the combat upgrades that are necessary to get through. And, wow, look at that. Well, there's a warrior ring. Warrior ring and the Statue of Onyx were both right next to each other in Sabera 2's area. You just didn't find those two checked.
Oh, figures. They were probably on the opposite end of the frickin' map. Because Sabera's area was, you walk in, you follow the path left out of the initial spot, you go down, and there's Sabera.
Yep.
And the fact that I had a flame bracelet and a power ring, I'm like, well, okay. I'll just sword charge glitch whatever I need to from here on out.
So it looks like Axe is going to opt to warrior ring it.
Well, if he's only got level 2 shots, that's not that bad of a play, to be honest.
Oh, he'll have level 3 when he goes in sword charge glitches. He does have the storm bracelet.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's gonna sword charge glitch.
Oh, I can guarantee you he is. He's doing it right now. He's just trying to get that extra level before he does it.
Oh yeah, you're okay. I stand correct.
But he's gonna do the power ring. He was just using the warrior ring to kill a couple of robots. Yeah, this is the correct play. No thank you to Sabera 2 at 36 scaling with like 300 HP and 15 defense. I'm gonna pass on that.
36 scaling? Let me find out how much she has. 13 defense, 333 HP.
Yeah, no thanks. Gonna have to pass on that one. So at this point, he's gonna do, let's see here. He'll be doing 36 damage a hit minus 13, so he's gonna do 23 damage per tick of the tornado bracelet to the boss, which means it's gonna take him somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15 hits to kill him. Now, it looks like he's averaging 3 hits per cycle, so not too bad.
I think he did the same thing Dragondarch did and sold the Sacred Shield for some money.
I don't blame him.
I had to come up with some money to stay it in somehow.
Right?
Most of the enemies we were seeing were tower robots. They don't give you anything.
Oh yeah, how about a seed with all tower robots there, man?
Those ones drop money. I don't know what no money dropping robot stuff is. Axe tried to buy a magic ring.
What is it? Crystalsrandomizer.com/robots is the if you want to roll a seed with all robots.
Hit. Sound like you had a little robot yourself there, K-Fal. You becoming a Terminator and not telling us?
You know, it was gonna be a secret. It was gonna be a surprise.
Not surprised anymore. You failed. Yeah, what he's talking about with regards to the thing is that we've on April Fools, we threw out a quick branch and put it on the front page that replaced every generic monster in the game with a tower robot. To make this completable, we made a couple of changes where the robots themselves actually can drop money, as well as, you know, that way you weren't getting soft locked anywhere. But yeah, that was a special run. And monstrous shoutouts to J-Ro Boy, who was a novice at Crystalis Randomizer and jumped in on that community race that we had that day and managed to tough his way through it, because that was a lot of fun that day.
Oh yeah. They threw together a community race, and there was about 3 of us that spent about 20 minutes trying to decide. We were arguing with each other whether or not Steve and Magic were trolling us or if the seed was meant.
The answer is yes. No, that did not happen. So, heading into the tower here, he's got 3 magic rings, and I believe that's 1 fruit of power. So, shouldn't have too much trouble with the tower here using Thunderstrats. He got a double fast laser, so easy. Easy every time. I can't wait to inform Axe that he gets to join Nightdew as the, that he has a new spot.
We now have 2 axe chests.
We have 2 axe chests, definitely. We have the axe chest and the axe trunk. So yeah, you can see here with the power ring at its current level and scaling, it takes a single thunderstorm to wipe out all the white robots, so this will be quick. Doesn't even need to shoot a level 2 shot at him. Yeah, in Axe's case, he, because he spent so long, you know, forgetting about that particular location there on Saber South, it turned this from one where it was like, well, it looks like Dragondarch's got a small lead here, to, like, 10 plus minutes of, oh boy.
I mean,
it was really close, neck and neck for a lot of the early thing, and then when Axe forgot about that one spot or waited for that spot, you just kept pulling further and further ahead, and by the time you figured it out, you were just so far ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, with these flags, it's really easy to forget that some of these locations are going to be accessible without the correct sword.
Yeah, I made mention that it was interesting because he actually started the game, he walked over to the Portoa side, made a save at the bridge in Portoa, and then walked to check to see if he could get the waterfall chest, so he could reset back if he couldn't. It was an interesting decision, only to then have him forget that that was a possibility later in the seed in another location. Which is, you know, just part of what this can do to you.
Oh, yeah.
Axe heading into Dyna here. He's going to get inside of it right about 120... And he should be done here within about a minute.
And if you notice, there was a question asked in chat early in the run, what an average average estimate for this is. We said about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and if you look at the time here, Axeman is still finishing under 1.5 hours.
Yeah, well, this one also didn't require, you know, a number of caves. They were just simply not required. No, they never had to go back and finish out Hydra. They didn't have to visit Styxy at all. They didn't have to check anything in Mount Saber North at all. You know, so there's a lot of cave systems that they just didn't have to deal with.
Speaking of Saber North, how about that soldier doing his job there on you, Dragon?
Oh, yeah. It's like, okay, he's right at the text box. I'll back off a little bit. Nope, he's going left. Oh, now he's in the door. Can you move? Can you please move?
Axe has officially finished his race here. Official SRL time of 1:21:53. GG Axe. And time to make sure that we give Axe the good news right off the bat. You know, at least once he joins in. Axeman, sir!
Hey.
Sir! So, I don't need to tell you what I'm gonna say. You already know what's coming.
Yeah.
So now that we have a second Axe chest... Yeah, I thought it was interesting. We were just talking about this a minute ago. So at the very beginning of the race, you saved on the Portoa Bridge, and then immediately jumped over into the waterfall cave to check to see if that chest was accessible, which was, you know, an interesting play that, you know, obviously the chest was not accessible, but it was an interesting play. Only to have that exact same thing happen, but be the other reverse, where you had access to a chest and just didn't even think that you could.
Wait. Oh, which one was that?
So the tornado bracelet spot. That
Oh yeah, no, I knew that. I just last locationed it. I don't know. I always thought. I guess yeah.
It sure didn't seem like that, because you were staring at your
yeah?
screen for like 5 minutes, looking at it, going like, I don't know where to go. And like you paused it a couple of times, and then you'd like sit and it was like you'd like look at your items for a second, and then be like, oh, maybe I need to try this, and you'd go check that out, and there would be nothing there, like fog lamp cave.
Oh, no, I thought, yeah. I don't think I was ever completely lost. I did, you know, I was great, but I was thinking harder by the time I found that, yeah. But
yeah, and that really was the big difference, because as soon as Dragondarch got the fire sword, he immediately went and got the Sword of Wind. Then he immediately went to Evil Spirit Island. Yeah, and the what it turned out to is he just did it like 15 minutes before you.
Oh yeah, well that would do it. Yeah.
Yep. And then the other thing that was a big difference maker was that so Brokahana was hanging on to the ball of fire. And he went in the front door after getting the ball of fire, because he actually didn't follow the he didn't go back to fog lamp, so he never got telepathy, so he never got the prison key, so he never got the ball of thunder. And because of that, his first combat upgrade was the ball of fire. And so as soon as he got that, he's like, okay, well I can do Go of Fortress now. And then you kill Kelbesk and you get the flame bracelet. So he was like, done.
Oh, yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, so he had to leave a few times to keep sword charge glitching, but yeah, he pretty much blasted through Go of Fortress, you know.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. You know, and it's interesting because you did almost all the bosses with no real combat upgrades. And he didn't do any of them really without it. I think Sabera 1 was the only boss he did that didn't have a ball. He just kept leaving.
Okay.
And he came back.
Most of them I kept leaving because I kept not having the right freaking sword. And then, I mean, I did Sabera without it because I just went out there early. And, I mean, she's not a problem anyway. She has the lowest defense of every boss. So it didn't matter with her. And then I did Mado. I believe I did Mado without it, too. And he was not having any of it.
I did Mado 1.
Yeah, he sure did.
Isn't too... it's not too tricky, but...
Well,
yeah, actually...
Sources, too. And your scaling was low.
Yeah.
We told Dragondarch that you found the first combat upgrade in the Ball of Thunder at 43 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. Now that happens in these flags, you know?
Yeah, because there's no value to them, logically.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do the tower without a bracelet. It would have been
Without
nice to have a barrier, too.
Without any balls, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Right. Did Edie get the thunder bracelet? I guess he didn't. You said he didn't get the. Where was that first ball of thunder I got? I forget.
It was at the paralysis location behind the key of prison.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I never found the key to prison.
Okay.
I eventually found a ball of thunder and a ball of wind, but I didn't have much in the way of combat upgrades until like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, when you orphaned the end of the fog lamp cave at one point, then you went back, and telepathy sent you down the rabbit hole. What ultimately ended up with
yeah. So I should have. Yeah, I guess it was between that and the thunder and the tornado bracelet spot, and so I guess I chose that spot. Maybe I was because I knew Dee Dee skips that spot a lot, but it turned out to be the right call this time.
Yeah, so that rabbit hole was telepathy to the swamp, to the prison key, and then the elder gave you another fetch quest, as I read, and you were just like all over the place doing all this stuff that led to nothing.
I mean, it didn't take that long, but yeah.
It adds
Yeah,
up.
it was-
That's the thing.
Yeah,
it all adds
Yeah,
up.
it all added up. Yeah, and then my scaling was probably higher too. Going through that fortress, which makes a big difference when you're at level 2. You know, you've only got you don't have the and then yeah, I didn't have the bracelet either.
Yep. Well, all I can say is that this seed, we got to see some of the worst this seed can throw at the as far as combat's concerned, that the rando can throw at you, with it basically requiring a whole bunch of bosses with very little to no combat upgrades, and then following that up by also being like, hey, this was actually also a really easy seed because a whole bunch of areas did not require you guys to go through. No Stixie, no Hydra, no Mount Saber North. You know, you didn't have to do Mount Saber South even, you know, so that like, there's a whole bunch of cave systems that just you never needed to go to. You went to Waterfall Cave, but that's another one. It was not necessary to go there at all.
Yeah. The other thing was that I didn't, Sword of Wind was, so I think I put off that Saber West play because there's no guarantee I could have gotten the Tornado Bracelet spot because I didn't have the sword for it. But it happened that the randomized maps put it accessible.
Yep.
So,
and it's actually what I thought happened was that you had just forgotten that cave could potentially allow you to access the chest.
Oh, no, I knew it. I just last locationed it.
Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
I know, especially I kind of figure these races aren't going to be real close, but they'll be fun.
At least you didn't go mode a dungeon that had a required item.
Yeah, I got go mode and I felt pretty good, but then I realized, unless unless the weaknesses fall in or I get a bracelet or something, this is going to be not ideal.
Yeah, that was about where I was. I had all 4 swords, all 3 bows, and flight, but no combat upgrades. I'm like, I need something.
Yeah.
Turns out our buddy Brokahana was actually holding on to the goods this time.
Yeah. I got that. Maybe I got changed late. I forget.
Yeah, you got changed late too. I forget where it was. I think it might have been in Mado's area. Does that sound right?
That might have been it.
No, it couldn't have been in there because I hadn't done that area. And I had to...
right.
Well, I'm gonna be watching to see how DD did this.
I forget where it was. Don't know.
Well, the good news is we've got at least, 2 more to go?
Yep, at minimum.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even make mention of the fact that Axeman decided to forego taking the one win advantage over Dragondarch in favor of, getting as many matches as possible in this. And, the way that it was originally scheduled to set up was to be, best of 3 matches. And then obviously it was a double elimination tournament. But, they've opted to switch to a best of 5 where Axeman, instead of, saying, I'll take the 1 win victory and going for it, says, no, I want all of Dragondarch. And he's getting it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, as K-Found mentioned, there are at least 2 more matches coming, and hopefully we have 4 more matches coming because that would be excellent. Because these flags are a lot of fun to watch, even if you're not sure what you're looking at. These guys sometimes are not even sure what they're looking at because the cave systems can just really throw things for a huge loop. And the monster randomization really wasn't too bad. Except some Black Knights that really got friendly with Dragondarch there in Evil Spirit Island. Those might have been the worst enemies for him in the whole seed.
Oh, those were... When I killed the first one and saw it was giving me about 500, I'm like, well, I can level off 2 more of these. I might as well.
Yeah.
Even if it takes a bunch of hits, it's like I need a couple of levels anyway, so why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, the leveling is important when you don't have the bracelet for the bosses. It really evens things up.
Right. You know, because it's based on an expected level. And, you know, if you're well below that expected level, you're going to do a lot less damage. And if you're well above it, that'll help make up for the combat deficiencies because you get 1 damage per level simply because of, you know, gaining those extra levels. That will definitely help level the field. Well, let's see when we can get the next one scheduled. Good luck to both of you. It's a lot of fun today, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you again, Speed Gaming. Viewers, continue to look out for more Crystalis Randomizer. This is the grand finals. We do have, at minimum, 2 more matches coming up. And, you know, stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot more hot, exciting Crystalis Randomizer action coming.
There we go. I got myself back in. Yes, just in
Excellent.
time. Just in time to end things. Yeah, thank you guys. Definitely, I don't know if Matrick thanked Speed Gaming for hosting. It's been a blast. Be sure to come to crystalisrandomizer.com and check us out. Join the community. We're a lot of fun. Even if Matrick and Steve will troll us with community races, it's a blast.
That was mostly Matrick, I just want to say.
Would you
Of
expect
course.
anything different? I mean, Steve was not going to do anything until I was like, hey, why don't we do this?
Steve's like, sure, I can make that happen. Oh, I should probably make the tower robots drop money. All right, it's good to go.
Yeah, it happened in a span of about 30 minutes. Good times, good times.
It was fun.
All right.
So yeah, we'll get on the schedule when Axe and Dragondarch schedule their next match. I don't know if that's been scheduled yet.
Not yet.
That's
no.
a negative.
No, not yet.
So stay tuned for when that happens, and yeah, follow these runners. They're awesome. They're awesome to talk with, watch run. Like I said, join our community, join Discord, talk with us there.
GG's.